Okay, today we're going to talk seeds and spring gardening. Welcome to the Mom Hobby channel. Most of what I do has been jewelry so far, but I do have a lot of other hobbies I want to start talking about, and one of them is gardening, outdoor gardening. And container gardening. I kind of consider its own thing. As compared to like maybe indoor gardening or growing houseplants. So I kind of want to go over my seeds, where I get them, how much you should be looking to pay for seeds, and what you can start planting in the spring, early in the spring. I don't want you to miss out on spring gardening because it's the best, it's the easiest. There's fewer pests, there's fewer weather problems, there's plenty of rain so you don't have to water. I mean, of course, this is going to vary tremendously based on your climate. So please tell me in the comments, where are you located? And if you know your zone, tell me your zone. I am in Connecticut, zone 6. So a lot of the information is geared towards that, but I'm going to I'll let you know when I have ideas for other climates. I will definitely put that in there as well. All right, let's jump into the video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so I've pulled all the seeds that I have. I have a very large seed collection. I pulled everything that you can start directly outside in the garden or outside in a container before your last frost date. And what is the last frost date? For those of you who may not know, the last frost date is the last day that temperatures could potentially drop below freezing. So I looked up our nearest climate station to where I am, and it's saying the last spring frost possibility is May 1st. I did look up another city that was pretty close, like maybe 30 minutes away, and that was, 2 weeks earlier. So it really does depend on your exact location, your altitude, all of that. So we know basically the end of April. So we have plenty of time to get things out. Now let's kind of just jump in and talk about the different seeds, where I get them, all of that. So I'm gonna pull first my favorite place to get seeds, My Gardener. It's an online source for buying seeds, and I do love this one. This is my absolute favorite place to get seeds because of a few things. One, because of how affordable the seed packets are. All their seed packets are $2. And they do have like sales and coupons codes pretty regularly. So I am just kind of obsessed with buying seeds from them. And I don't think you should really spend more than $2 for a packet of seeds unless you know it's something very unique that you want to grow and that you can't get it at a lower price. So let's pop through some of these and kind of talk about them. So peas. Peas are an early spring crop. You can start them outdoors or indoors. I have done both already. I have started them indoors and outdoors. Advantage with starting them indoors is you get a little jump. They grow much fast, very fast indoors. My grow room is around 70 degrees. Outside, it can be very slow to get them started, even though they can withstand like even a soft freeze. So if it does drop to 30 degrees, they should be fine. And if they're in the ground still, you don't have to worry at all. And if you think it's gonna go lower than 30, you may just wanna give them some cover. I've planted them very early, and I've never had any losses planting them outside early. So it says here to direct sow, which means planting them outside as soon as the soil is workable and 6 to 8 weeks prior to the first fall frost. So we are in, I meant to count the weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So we have 6 weeks. So we're in that zone of the 6 to 8 weeks So this is a perfect time if you're in zone 6, if you're in Connecticut, if you're in probably the Northeast, to start planting your peas outside. And there's 2 different kinds of peas. There's climbing and then there's bush. So you just need to make sure these have a trellis when you plant the climbing peas. I have not planted this variety, but I'm going to show you a few of my favorite varieties. And one of those is the Mammoth Melting Snow Pea. These grow vigorous. They grow huge. You're gonna have a million of them. I love these, and these are all peas that you eat the pods. I don't grow shelling peas. Those are peas where you would take out the peas. That just doesn't seem like something I would have time for. So I do grow peas that you can eat the pods, and these are great for eating the pods. They're not stringy, they're huge, they're so fun for the kids. So I highly recommend this variety if you're new to growing peas. And there's another variety that I love. I don't see it here, but we'll probably find it as we go through the seeds. And then there's a few other peas here that I don't think I've tried. So, and I haven't even opened these packets, so will I get to growing them this year? You can absolutely save your seed packets. I save them for years and I don't really notice any issues. Occasionally with certain things I will, but I literally grow them year after year from the same seed packet. So I have, and all of these were purchased last year. So I would like to try some of these, but I just don't know if I'm going to get to that. I think these are all climbing peas. So this brand, Botanical Interest, is another company that I really like for seeds. It's owned by Epic Gardening, which is another content creator. Same with MI Gardening. It's a content creator on YouTube that I like to follow. Their seeds are a little bit more expensive, so I only purchase for them when they have a really good sale. But they do also have some very, very nice gift seed packages. If you can't make up your mind on what to get, or if you want to give a gift of seeds to someone, they have some beautiful collections of seeds available. My Gardener, they have that, but they're often out of stock. All right, so we talked about peas. Let's talk about carrots. This is a tricky one. I have best luck with carrots really in big containers, deep containers. I seem to have better luck with carrots. I have grown them in the garden beds. It just takes a while to get them slow and to get them going. But you can direct sow them outside. You can put them in containers. You can I've literally like filled a container full of carrots and then harvest half of them and then like stuck like a tomato plant in that container and then continue to harvest the carrots. So they can really go anywhere. It's just a matter of thinning them so they're not too close together. But you can absolutely start these out in the garden now or soon. It says, sow in well-worked stone-free soil after danger of heavy frost. Seed directly in the garden. Plant in full sun and well-drained soil. And then here's one that says 3 to 5 weeks before last frost. So I have grown these rainbow carrots. Just keep in mind, it's gonna take a while. You're gonna be harvesting them in the summer probably for them to grow into big carrots. But I definitely recommend growing them. It's an excellent one. And if you don't want to spend anything on your seeds, check out the dollar store, 4 for $1. It might be 4 for $1.25 now. They won't have a lot left because it goes pretty quick, but if you can check out the Dollar Tree and other dollar stores, you may be able to find some seeds, and then it's like for 25 cents, it's worth a try. Absolutely worth a try. So I do enjoy growing carrots. Here's some peas. I've grown these little Marvel peas before. And then let's see, what else do we have here? Parsnips are very tricky, so I would say that's more for experience. Once you get your carrots down, try parsnips. I've tried, but I haven't had a lot of luck with these. Let's see here. Are these all turnips and beets? Turnip. I have grown the turnips. They will literally survive in the ground in the winter if you don't harvest them. You can also often dig them up like early spring if you left some out. So it's a really good, I feel like an amazing like survival food. Of course, with roots, vegetables, you need very loose soil. So I've kind of, they come out small. So you just have to kind of tweak your nutrients and really work on it. Look up videos on growing turnips because it is trickier. But you can also eat the greens, I believe. And I probably have eaten the greens. Pretty much most things you can eat the greens. Carrots, you can eat the greens. I just think they do need probably more sun than I've given them. Same with the beets. I have some trouble getting the beets to grow very big, but I'm going to try again this year and I'll keep you posted. But I have grown beets. They're just golf ball size. They're not like huge. So I'm going to try again. I have a few different kinds to try here. So wish me luck. And they absolutely can be started early. Plant as soon as the garden can be prepared. That's probably my issue, that I'm starting them too late and they're getting too hot. Direct sow when soil reaches 45 degrees, which is probably now. So I need to get these out soon if I'm going to try to grow them, because I think my issue is planting them way too late. I have not tried really any broccoli, cauliflower. So I'm going to try this. I have grown tons of broccoli sprouts and eaten them as sprouts, but I haven't grown like full broccoli. So I thought this would be a good option. I haven't tried it. I'm going to try it this year. And often I will start things inside and outside. If it's something that I really want to grow and I'm worried that a frost could come and take something out, this says 1 to 2 weeks before your average last frosty. So this was one that I might, want to wait a few weeks and maybe also start indoors. Okay, this is a good one. This one's so easy. And so this is Komasuna. This is so easy to grow. It likes cold weather, so the spring or the fall, it grows huge. The leaves are edible. The stems are edible. It's good cooked. You could probably eat it raw. I've eaten it, especially when the plant's small, eating it raw in salads. Like, I don't really know much about this plant. I just know it grows large and it's very, very easy to grow and is relatively pest-free. It just doesn't like the hot summer. So this is a little bit easier than collard greens, but I would say that's what it's the most similar to. So if you see this, I would grab it. This Baker Creek heirloom seeds, again, their packets of seeds are more expensive, and I just don't have this is the one that I had the best luck with. I just don't have as much luck with their seeds as I've had with the other companies and even the dollar store seeds. All right, so I still have a bunch more. Hopefully I'm holding it in the camera because it could be hard to tell. I gotta find a way that I can see, what I'm actually showing in the camera. So I have 3 packs of strawberries. I've just recently grown strawberries indoors in the hydroponic system. I didn't think that they would germinate in there, but they did. So they typically need to be cold before, so I'd stuck them in the fridge. I just planted some indoors, and I'm going to try to plant some outdoors. Strawberries do spread, so keep in mind where you're putting them. I have a bed that I'm going to let the strawberries take over because I'm just trying to do low maintenance gardening as much as possible. All right. This video is a lot of talking. Let's see if my voice can hold out. So all kinds of lettuce, amazing for cool weather, and they won't germinate if it's too hot. So you have to grow them in the spring or the fall. It looks like I hadn't done this variety. I hadn't done this variety. I just have so many. Looks like I grew this one. Like none of them like stick out as my minds besides the red romaine. The red romaine is excellent. I just grew it indoors and it grew huge. And when you arugula, all of these things, you can start outside before your last frost. The arugula says 2 to 4 weeks. You could push that a little bit. You know, you could play around with it. Again, these seeds are so inexpensive that if it dies, the frost comes and kills something, just plant something else in that spot. I grow these all the time, these lettuce blends. I grow them in containers. I grow them in the beds. A container near your kitchen is a really, really good place for these lettuce blends. I highly recommend it. And I do recommend trying to get them out within the next week or two, because by the time they germinate, the weather's probably going to be appropriate. And I always look at my forecast. I'll look 10 days ahead, or as many days as I can look ahead and see, okay, is there going to be a hard freeze? Should I wait? Because I don't want them to be tiny seedlings and then have a hard freeze. That probably wouldn't work for most things. So I do look ahead, and as soon as I have that 10-day clearing where it's getting closer to my frost date and I know there's not going to be a hard freeze, I'll plant things. And then for radishes, excellent in the spring. You absolutely have to grow them in the spring. I can't get them to grow at all when it warms up. In French breakfast, I would just go with that if you're a beginner. I love these. I didn't even like radishes, but these are very mild. I love growing them. They're so easy. They're so beautiful, and they're just very, very easy to grow. Radish. Highly recommend. I have several others that are a little bit more challenging, bigger radishes. But I'll be trying some of these. I've grown some of these I grew last year. I don't remember, but I'll be trying some of these as well. All right, so what else do we have here? Corn salad, it's still growing. It survives the whole winter if it doesn't get super cold. It's just a tiny little plant, but you can cut it for salads. Really good. Collard greens, they actually do grow very easy outdoors. Seed them outdoors. The thing is, and they can tolerate some heat, but once the cabbage worms come, you know, the kale and the collards and the cabbage is going to get hit. So I do recommend, and what I think I'm going to do this year is growing, they call them brassicas, all of these things, cabbage, broccoli, kale. I'm going to grow them all under netting, I think. Maybe not all of them, because I'll probably grow some in my green stock on my deck and stuff, but I think I'm going to do a bed and just cover them with the netting, because I'm tired of the whole cabbage. Same with the cabbages. I've grown the cabbages. And I've gotten big cabbages, but usually the cabbage worms, and then there's a gopher that likes to come and bite a big hole in the cabbage. So I think those are all going to go under netting this year. And you could do like a frost cover early and then switch that to netting once you no longer need the frost cover. Hopefully you know a little bit about gardening so you know what I'm talking about. Let me know your questions, your comments, and let me know, just let me know what it is that you want me to elaborate on more. Kale, excellent one. A lot of varieties survive the winter here. I have this one, I believe. The scarlet kale is all out there. The dino, not as much. But I have a lot of regular curly kale and scarlet kale. You can grow it indoors. You can eat them small. If you let kale grow big and you just harvest the bottom leaves, they will grow humongous. So just harvest the bottom leaves and it'll just grow bigger and bigger. And the dino kale is my favorite. It is one that the gopher likes. And this, if you harvest the bottom leaves, it keeps growing up like the tall stalk, and they can grow quite large. And if you live in a warmer climate, or if you are in a warmer zone than Connecticut, you might be able to grow this all year, and they grow like really just stunner, like cool looking plants. So it says 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost. Yeah, so I would highly recommend Dino Kale if you're a beginner with kale or you don't think you like kale, just because it looks so cool. And especially if you do live in a warmer climate, it can grow huge. I love everything about the Dino Kale. And it doesn't seem, the cabbage worms eat this, but not as much as some of the others. Napa cabbage. There's lots of small cabbages as well, 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. So this is one that would go out now. Just read your package information for whatever you want to plant. How deep, the sun, if it's cold tolerant, early spring, midsummer, it says. Sometimes you do like late summer to go into the fall for these things. Here's some more. These this is one that I have to get out now. It's a 6 to 8 weeks because I remember I planted it very early last year and I did eat a lot from these, but they went, as soon as we get like a warm day here, they go to seed. So I would definitely grow this one in a colder climate. Pak choi, because they were very easy to grow. I got a lot of food from it, but ours just immediately flowered, like literally first warm day they flower. And we get a lot of warm days mixed in the spring here. So if you live in a colder climate, I would definitely try this one. It seems like I grew this cabbage as well. I can't remember what cabbages I had the most success with, but it wasn't last year, it was the year prior that I was successful. I definitely had like a few good heads of cabbage that I was able to grow. Now, Swiss chard is the easiest thing in the world to grow. This grows humongous. Some of them grow very colorful. So I highly recommend trying this if you're a beginner. They go great in a green stalk planter. They grow great in the ground. They'll grow huge in a bed, in a container, really anywhere. It's so easy. It says 5 to 6 weeks before last frost. So if you're in the Northeast, this is a perfect time to get them out. I grow it every year. I have more. I usually end up with more of it than I could ever want to eat, but it is a really good one because it is pretty pest resistant. It does get the worms that burrow in the leaves, so just keep an eye out and discard those leaves as soon as you see it, because it will kind of spread quickly, but usually that doesn't always happen. Love these. Here's some more kale, like a variety of kale. I haven't had the best luck with this one. Like I seem to be getting all of one kind of kale, and not really the variety. Well, I'll have to try planting these seeds by themselves and see if they're all the same or if I'm actually getting the variety. This red Malabar spinach grows so weird. I don't even know if this is like a true spinach. It grows on a vine. I tried growing it in the fall last year, but I cut the tops by accident. I didn't know that it is literally like a vine, like a pea. You can't top them. I'm gonna try growing this for sure on my deck. I have one growing in my thing, the hydroponic thing in the kitchen, and it's like outgrowing that thing. But the leaves I don't really notice them. I cut them, I put them into salads, I eat them raw. I'm sure you could eat them cooked. It's just very beautiful, colorful plants. So I'm definitely gonna try growing several of these in a container on my deck. It can grow right up the deck railing because it seems to want to vine. It says 3 to 4 weeks prior to last frost, so I could probably get these out soon. Asian heirloom variety has red ruby stems and massive succulent green leaves. Not a true spinach, but similar in flavor and usage. I would recommend trying this if you see it. I don't know. I like things that are different. So it says full sun or partial sun. So if you have some shade, you can grow this. You need to grow it on some kind of trellis, and my trellis is often my deck railing, or very makeshift trellises that I've thrown together with twine or whatever. Or you can get like a net. Definitely a good one to try. More lettuce, again, containers near your kitchen, indoors, under lights, in your beds, everywhere you can grow so much lettuce. This is that super red romaine. This is a great variety. I grew it in my kitchen and I harvested it like 4 or 5 times and it's still going and it grew huge and it grew really fast. I would literally harvest it and it would be like ready to harvest again within a few days. It's full sun to partial sun. You can grow it in the shade. If you know you have a short spring season, plant these winter crops in the shade. So if you know it's gonna get hot fast or whatever, you may wanna try some of these things. If you can, plant them early, plant them in the shade. But yeah, love this one. Really good variety. Virale spinach I grew last year. I'm pretty sure this is one I had good luck with. It's just spinach also does not like the warm days here. So I would plant it in the shade, plant it in cold climates. It doesn't even like growing. I tried growing some in the house. It's like too warm in the house, even in the winter. So it needs to be outside. It doesn't like any warm days really. It'll just go to seed. This I have not grown before, but I'm hoping to try. I was gonna stick these out there 2 to 4 weeks, so it's a little early yet, so I might wait a week or 2 on this one. I haven't grown these before. Same with onions, I haven't grown 4 to 6 weeks, so I'm gonna put these out there soon, maybe today, I don't know. I'm a little hesitant because I know I have a really cold night coming up in a couple nights. So I might just wait till after that night. Okay, we have more. So as you can see, there's a crazy variety of what you can plant in the spring. There's just no reason, please do not try to put tomatoes outside. The cucumbers, pumpkins, squash, green beans, that stuff all needs warm temps and you're just gonna stunt your plant. Eggplant, all that stuff, you can't plant that outside now. But all of these things you can plant, try all of them. Try them in a few different locations. Remember, it's trial and error. What works and what works one year may not work the next year because there's going to be different pests. It's just the way it is. This curly kale is quite cute. I've enjoyed growing that. It doesn't seem to have as many pests due to the curly leaves, so a good one to try. Curly kale, always good. Is this the one? I think this is the one, the red Russian kale that is surviving the winters here in Connecticut. I have it out there now. So I'd highly recommend that if you live in a cold climate. Or if you live in a slightly warmer climate, you're probably gonna have a plethora of this all winter long. And I've seen these grow in like deep snow. And we had a little bit of snow and it's still going. The fennel I want to try 4 to 6 weeks, so we're in the zone of when I could try it, so I may try this. I don't have enough space, so it's just whatever I can grow, whatever lines up with when I can plant and the timing. I don't really plan it out. I'll grab a couple seed packets and be like, okay, let's try this one. Spinach, this is another one to get out now because it doesn't really like work, or if you live in a colder climate, excellent. Or if you have a shady space in the garden, go ahead with that. These are the other peas that I like. So even though these are blue shelling snow peas, these pods are edible and they're so tasty and they just grow like crazy. And they do need a trellis, but they don't grow super tall. Mine were just like 2 feet, maybe 3, compared to some other varieties that are just growing up endlessly. But I highly recommend these if you go to MI Gardener, if they have them. This one and the Oregon Mammoth. If you're new to peas and you want to try 2 varieties, I would do both of those. Excellent. I love these. I had repurchased these so I could plant them this year. And I'm going to hopefully just get a ton of peas out this year because my kids love eating them. You get your kids to eat vegetables. And they're good cooked in food. They're good brawn salads. Like, I can't say enough. And they're pretty tolerant. They'll hang on for a while when the days start getting hot. So especially if you have like hot, cold, you know, they'll hang on for quite a while. So you get a really good season out of them. I would definitely start some in, some out. And you got to be a little careful when transplanting them. I start mine in paper cups and that's been fine. So I'm going to get some of these out, some more peas out, planted out, just start them just directly outside, like really soon. Like I need to do it today. This isn't open, but I thought I did grow this before, but maybe not. 4 to 6 weeks before last frost. Says it's drought tolerant to grow in full sun. It's a pollinator, so you can eat the leaves and it grows. And then I think you can do something with the seeds. I think you can make like flour with the seeds or something like that. I don't know enough about this. It's weird because this isn't, oh, maybe I did open it because these are sticky because I thought I did grow this last year. And I think I did in the fall. More peas. Again, find them at the dollar store if you don't want to spend $2 on a packet. Grab as many of these as you can find at the dollar store. They're not as good like as those other varieties, but they're fine and they're fun to grow. And you can save all the pea seeds that you don't, if they dry, you can just save them for the next year. And here's 2 varieties of spinach. I haven't tried. I have grown this before, this variety. Not sure about this one. Experiment with the varieties of spinach because I don't have the best luck growing it just because it tends to get too hot. I'm gonna stick it in a shadier spot this year and see how it goes. Maybe like the far end of my deck or something. I don't know. Always plant things in a couple different places to see how it does compare. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions about seed starting, how to start things out in the garden. But now you know what to start and where to buy your seeds so you can get going with that. All right, thank you. This is a bit long and chatty, but I really wanted to put that information out there because I see a lot of people are just confused. They're like totally baffled and think I'm crazy when I start planting things outside in March. But it does work. Absolutely does work. All right, so thank you so much and have a great day. Please like and subscribe.